Hi, my name's Kenneth. I'm 16 years old, and I have a girlfriend named Donna, who's just about a year older than me. Donna is a wonderful girl. She's cool, smart, and really kind. I met her through an anime server in Discord. We got along together, and surprisingly, we live close to each other. She has ginger hair and lots of freckles, which, to be honest, just made me crazy for her. Her looks matched her amazing personality. I was kind of getting nervous because I felt she was out of my league. I mean, she's this cool and pretty girl, and I'm just an unathletic guy whose only hobby is watching anime. Much to my surprise, one day she asked me if I wanted to hang out. I was so nervous. I mean, what would I wear? Would she still like me if we met in person? Why do we have to meet when things are already going so great between us? I mean, just look at my haircut. While I was really anxious, I didn't want her to get disappointed and lose our friendship. So in the end, I said yes. The fated day came, and with a squirmy feeling in my stomach and shaky hands, I went to her house. As she opened the door, I saw her in person for the first time. She was even more gorgeous than in her pictures. You'd think that'd be a good thing, right? But this just made me even more self-conscious on how I look. Fortunately, she was all smiles when she saw me, which helped me relax a bit. Once we started talking about our favorite anime shows, all my nervousness and insecurities just vanished. It felt like we were just chatting online. The only difference is there is this beautiful girl just a few inches away from me. My palms were cold with sweat, but I was enjoying myself. When it started getting dark, she said we should call it a day since her dad was about to come home. After that first meeting, we'd hang out at her house. We'd watch movies, play some video games, and, sometimes make out. Donna has an older sister named Alex, who has a boyfriend named Brandon. He was a good-looking guy, which paired perfectly with the pretty Alex, unlike Donna and me. Alex and Brandon were cool, and the four of us got along well enough, although we didn't really spend too much time together since they were up in Alex's room most of the time. During those times, I learned a lot more about Donna. Apparently, her mom and dad are divorced. Their dad is basically a single parent taking care of both of them. But that's the only thing I ever learned about her family. Whenever I would try to ask about her dad, she would just change the subject. I didn't really think anything of it at first, but maybe it was just a boring subject for her. Once I got a chance to chat with Brandon, I asked him if he ever met Alex and Donna's dad. Figured he had, since he's been hanging out at their house for a lot longer than I have. It was just a simple question to start a conversation. All of a sudden, he looked me in the eyes and told me never to ask Alex or even Donna about their father. And this is where my curiosity started. To be honest, even though I was extremely curious, I totally stopped asking Donna about it. It's not because of what Brandon said, it's just that when it came to the topic of her dad, I noticed Donna always acting uncomfortable, so I just kind of forgot about the whole thing. So the fun days of hanging out went on, and I even started getting close to Brandon, since we'd usually go home together. One day we ordered a pizza and were eating it in the living room. The four of us were just there enjoying it when suddenly the doorknob on the front door started making a noise. I still remember the look on Donna and Alex's face that day. It was pure fear. The door opened and there was a short silence. Suddenly there was a loud shout. "Alex, whose shoes are these?" The shout was followed by the sound of running, and I knew something huge was coming towards us. Donna screamed at me with terror in her eyes. "Run!" Even Alex was frantically shouting, "Go! Go!" Brandon grabbed me by the arms and dragged me to my feet, telling me to hurry up and follow him. I was still stunned. I mean, what was going on? But the only words that stuck to me were, "Follow me" and "run," so I did. I followed Brandon through the kitchen and out the back door. As we were running, we heard screams of Donna and Alex saying, "Dad, please stop," and "Please, Dad, don't," and a clattering of silverware from their kitchen. I almost turned back since I was worried for Donna, but Brandon was pulling on my shirt and telling me not to worry and to just keep going. And boy, was he right. When I looked back, A huge man, who was probably their dad, was hot on our heels, and in his hands was this huge kitchen knife. The sight of that blade made me weak in the knees, but I still managed to run faster. We jumped over the neighbor's fence and ran through their property. Suddenly, someone grabbed me by the arm and started shouting in my face, "Hey, you're trespassing! You're fucking trespassing!" There was another huge man with his large fingers pointing at me and screaming accusations. I was so confused and scared, and to be honest, I almost cried. In a forceful voice, the huge man said, "Don't you ever do that again. Now get out of here." He pointed to a side entrance of his yard where there were lots of parked cars. I ran straight ahead without looking back. When it felt like I had covered a good distance and it seemed like nobody was following me, I started to calm down a bit. It was then that I realized I wasn't wearing my shoes and only had my socks on. Then I remembered Brandon, but with no way of contacting him, I just went home and hoped he was okay. Later that day, I tried to contact Donna, but there were no replies. I was really worried since I'm not sure how their dad treats them. Like, would he hurt them? I was still so confused about why their dad would react like that. I mean, sure, finding a guy in your house all alone together with your daughter would be infuriating. But to chase them down with a knife? That's kind of over the top if you ask me. The next morning, I saw Brandon at our usual bus stop. His face was bruised, and he could barely open his left eye. Oddly enough, he looked at me with a grin. I asked him what the hell happened back there. We went to get a cup of coffee, and he explained it all. Apparently, Donna and Alex have a very strict dad when it comes to boys. A strict, violent, ex-cop kind of dad. But Brandon reassured me that even though their dad was violent, he would never hurt his daughters. Well, at least that's what Alex told him. But when it came to the boyfriends, he hurt them, and he did it a lot. Brandon told me that Alex had a couple of ex-boyfriends before who were scared off by her dad. So far, he's the only one who's lasted this long. It was actually the third time he had gotten caught and beat up. The third time! Can you even imagine that? Even though Brandon wasn't saying it, I realized that he was pretty serious with Alex. I mistook him for some easygoing pretty boy that didn't really take things seriously. But at that moment, I really admired the guy. He also told me the sisters would most likely be grounded for 2 weeks, with no gadgets and stuff. It's been 3 weeks now, and I still haven't heard from her. But Brandon told me not to worry, since their dad would forgive them. Sooner or later. Do you have a similar experience? Have you ever met a scary dad of your girlfriends? Tell your story below in the comments, and don't forget to share this with your friends. Thanks for watching.